What's up, fellow lords of gaming, and welcome back to another episode of Marvel Future Fight. Today we jump into the update for No Way Home. It's the finale that we were all waiting on. Not exactly sure what's going on over at Marvel Future Fight Studios. CM Kim, CM Cage are no longer with them, and we've got a weird rolling block of updates that they've come. But we now have these new uniforms in the shop available to everyone to purchase. It'll be a rolling update, so if you haven't had it applied to your game just yet, just kind of keep relogging and you'll probably eventually get it. But let's take a look at these uniforms. First up to start with, those tentacles look amazing. The jacket, not so much, but let's get a little bit deeper. All right, so with Doc Ock here, we know automatically with Doc Ock that he already has his awakening skill inside here. Let's take a look at the full gamut of the team for the uniforms that we basically have. So let's start out with Spider-Man, or Doc Ock rather, No Way Home, and let's preview this uniform to see what we've got here. So he had a number of changes on his skills. Like we saw, there were 7 in total change skills for him, obviously because he went from being Superior Spider-Man to, you know, Superior Octopus, and now we're back at a combat class Doc Ock Spider-Man No Way Home. So let's take a look at these change skills inside here. I'm hoping for the best for Doc Ock, to be honest with you. I actually like Alfred Molina in there, so he was my favorite Doc Ock. That was a very lackluster jump in, and they could have at least changed this, the awakening skill. That's pretty lazy, I'm going to be honest with you. He's back to Doc Ock's not Superior Spider-Man, but we can see what appears to be Vulture and then him in there. I wish we would have changed that. Let's see how he moves. Ah, look at that though. The movement on there, that looks amazing. That looks really good. You can't complain about that movement. Yeah, I'm excited about that. Let me make sure that my SFX are on. There we go. Okay, so they are on, and let's take out look at the first look. Remember, there was nothing exceptional about his first skill. So you can see the skill here. It's just a stun, and that's pretty much it with the physical damage. But even with just that alone, the little tentacle waves is bringing back Matrix vibes to me. Let's see what his third skill looks like. It's got a lot of hits on that one. So on the first one, we can see that he enters an iframe right away, but it's not for long. It basically iframes to set up the attack, and then we go into his 2 skill. There's no iframe here whatsoever, but there's a lot of hits on this one. And remember, this one's dealing bleed damage, which isn't a lot, but it does have incapacitation, so we'll see how that plays out. His third skill, no iframe again at all. I'm not really sure how I feel about that skill. So this one's giving him his 100% chance for immunity to all damage. So this is really just a canceled out skill, like 3 and then to 2 pretty much at that point. That's all you're really getting from it. Well, I guess that's at least good that you can cancel out from it immediately. So you can see that one right there. So you can immediately cancel out his 3. So basically you're using a 3 simply just for the immunity. That's it. His 4th skill, there is a lot of hits going on there. So let's take a look at the effects here. We got stun, incapacitation, paralysis. He gets another bit of invincibility. He's doing quite a bit here. Like, it's so much that you could barely even see him, especially with these colors. These are off muted kind of nature tones, and he gets lost in all of that earth being thrown up, like easily thrown off. I can't even tell if that's an iframe for him. Yeah, there he goes, iframe. And then he loses it? Yeah, he loses the iframe immediately after entering, and he gets his invincibility. So let's see when we can cancel that. Go 4. Shit. Okay, so you can't cancel that. Let's see, 4. Okay, so you can cancel out of it as soon as he starts doing the hits. 4. Yeah, okay, so you can cancel out of it as soon as the first tentacles go down on it, and he'll continue doing his attack. So 3 we can automatically cancel, 4 we have to wait, and then we can go 2. So we can pretty much use 2 like as a finish off skill, but 2's not really necessary. So we can basically go into 3 and then into 4 and then to cancel when he hits. Now we look at his 5th skill. Wow, that's pretty. That's a lot going on there. Let's take a look at that 5th skill again. So he summons up. That's actually a pretty cool 5th skill. I don't know how well it's going to be, but let's see if we can cancel out of this into 5, then 4. Yeah, that's cool. So 5 looks like it has quite a bit of damage on it, because you can see 5 here is getting the increase all basic attacks. It's also getting the decrease, so he's getting the bonus here. So we probably, and then 4 you can see isn't really doing anything but giving the paralysis and this incapacitation with the invincibility. So it's kind of almost worth it to go 3, 4, 5, I think. Yeah, let me see how that one looks. 3, 4, cancel after the hits, and then immediately into 5. And he's just raining down everything in there and finishes out. And then his 6th skill we can see has nothing really changed about this one at all. Some of the uniforms have changed, okay, but it's just basically the Sinister 6, so doesn't look bad at all. I like the way Doc Ock's uniform looks. We'll have to see if this is going to be a purchasable uniform, like worthy of purchase. Next up we've got let's take a look at Green Goblin. He is just getting the uniform here, and nothing really jumps off because he's not got a T3 or Awakening. So this uniform is kind of risky to buy, in my opinion. I would most certainly wait for this uniform if you are a free-to-play player and you've been saving up crystals, but you're a fan. The main thing is I don't want to see what happened with Echo happen to players, where they basically purchase uniform and then we never get a T3 or an Awakening for this character, because I can tell you by and large the uniform is going to be a dump at that point, because if they release a uniform again, then we've basically essentially, especially like I feel like if they release 2 uniforms within the same year, then these uniforms should be synergy. But you know, so the uniform overall looks pretty decent to me. The glider looks cool. I think the uniform looks cool, but I don't know, something about the face with the Strone, it goes from like very techno to want to look menacing but kind of looks dorky. That's just my opinion. But let's take a look at his change skills inside here. He also has 7 change skills inside there, so let's preview these effects. Alright, so unfortunately no T3, no Awakening. I really feel like we're going to end up with a T3 Awakening. I don't know why they're holding off on it. They should have just released it. 1 skill, nothing really on it at all but stun. So let's take a look at that again. Definitely a good gap closer. He's got an iframe throughout it all, so that looks really cool. And it's really fast. Like, wow, he does a lot of hits on that. That's really quick. It's got a lot of range, because if you notice, he's shooting all the way through, like, so like it'll hit everybody back here as well. It looks like, yeah, you can see guys in the background getting hit as well, so that's has some serious range on it. We've got 2 okay, let's see that again. There's a little bit delay there in the explosions. I don't really necessarily like that delay like that. Mostly because you can see, like, let's count that out real quick. So he spins, which he's just open for at that point. Like, that's a Shadowland skill, and then not even that. He does like this weird little spin before any attack happens. This is like pure animation right here, because look, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's almost 7 seconds going there before anything even happens on this skill. Now he does create a shield for himself that's 30% of his max HP, but I don't like. To be honest with you, like, it's a visual good skill. I don't like that. That's a long time. Like, you can count that off before the attack actually lands. Like, even if you use that in World Boss Ultimate or something like that, he's more than likely moving. I'm not a fan of that at all, to be honest with you. So yeah, not a fan for me. I mean, the good thing is not a lot is happening on that skill. What we want to see is when we can cancel out of that 2 skill and whether that will still go off. So let's go 2, he summons, and then let's immediately cancel into, I don't know why I went into 3. Let's just go 2 into 1 so that way we can see the cancel. You can see there's a bit of a delay, but you can still cancel out of it. So I'm trying to cancel out of it right at the start, but it doesn't look like it cancels. So it like almost he has to throw out the grenades. So like if I press that, and you can see I press this, the grenades actually have to they have to actually land. So that's still a good 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's still a good 4 seconds before you can actually move into anything else. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this 2 skill. Luckily, like I said, there's not a lot going on there anyway. So all right, so let's take a look at his 3 skill. He's got a little animation on there. What the fuck was that? Okay, I guess this is simply a buff skill. Like there's no damage on this. Like you can see even the effects on this. I'm a little confused about this, to be perfectly honest. So it causes fear, but that's it. It's a weird skill. 20% recovery of max HP. We can see that happens in the beginning. Fear to all allies. The dodge rate increased by 30. So it's weird. It doesn't do any damage. So this is a buff, and that's it. It's just gonna basically like, yeah, we're just buffing. Let's see what the 4 skill looks like. A lot of movement on that skill. Wow. So this one has the paralysis with the ignore immunity and 100% chance for immunity to all damage. Man, this is like fireworks on that skill. It is. Wow. Now he's in iframe throughout it all, so that's pretty good. Let's see when we can cancel out of that. So that's crazy because it looks like he canceled out of it and he's still, no, looks like you're gonna have to let that play out. It looks like you're gonna have to let that play out to get the things going, because you notice as soon as I cancel it, the damage stops immediately. Wow. So like if I go 4 into 1, well, let's go 4 into 3 so that way I can just cancel out of the skill, see what happens. But you can see all the damage stops right away. Wow, 4, 3, everything stops. Yeah, like, so even if you go 4 and you look at it and you go 2, everything stops as soon as he cancels out of it. So you're gonna probably have to let this skill play out. Now there's not a lot happening on here. It's the immunity, increased basic damage for 1 attack. So you're using this one as a setup skill. Really, I don't know, man, how I feel about that. And then let's see what his 5th skill looks like. Nice animation there. What is this 5th skill doing? He has a, this is the frenzy buff that's being applied. It's a cool animation, but he's got a long time before his attacks actually go. Like, look how long that takes for that skill to, I don't know, man. I don't know about this uniform. I think this is gonna be a hard wait, man, to see what happens with him, because it's like, let's see if we cancel out of 5 and go into 4 and then cancel out of that. Like, you see there's like no damage happen. Everything ceases. It immediately ceases. Watch that. Let's go back into this. Let's open up with 3, go into 5, cancel out of 5, go into 4, and then cancel out of 4. Everything stops. Everything stops. What the hell? All right, man. I don't know how I feel about this one. Let me take off the SFX for this one real quick and see what I'm seeing here, because this is a weird uniform. So we literally go 3 to start some stuff out, go into 5, maybe we cancel here into 4, and then we cancel here. I don't like this uniform, man. I don't think this is a good one. 5, cancel out of 5 into 1. Stops everything. Let's go 5, see where we can cancel. He goes into the sky. Let's go here. Okay, so we gotta the cancel time is what it is, but it's such a long time between the cancel. Like, you almost gotta wait for him to take up into the sky, and then you can cancel out the skill. His abilities are weird. Maybe Cynic Alex or Beast Mode have better for me than what I got, but this is a weird uniform for me. All right, weird uniform for me. I think I'm gonna hold off on that uniform. I'm not exactly feeling that one. And if we get a 50% off, I'd rather get it for 50% off and be wrong than, you know, 40% and be right. So then we've got Jamie Foxx's Electro. This is a cool looking uniform. The little meshing is weird. It's janky as hell, but it looks janky as hell. But thank God he's not blue faced. Not very Jamie Foxx looking, but you know, okay. So this one has the weird accumulation skill, which is here. It does say it accumulates movement distance upon moving. Okay, and then increase all basic attacks by 1.2 for every 1% accumulated movement distance proportional to the max accumulated movement distance. This is going to be for 8 seconds. This should be interesting to see his skills. He only has 4 skill changes on his. I forgot to take a look at what they were, to be honest. Let's go back here because I want to make sure that I know which ones they were, because I don't remember off the top of my head which ones. So he's basically got his 3, 4, 5 skill, and then his passive changes right here. So it's only his 3, 4, and 5 skill that changes. So let's take a look at those and see what we got. So just as a reminder, we've still got the 1 skill. That actually look cooler with this on. So we got the 1 skill, which is basically like a little rush that happens inside there, dealing shock damage. You can see that. And then his 2 skill, which is just a little blast. He's not really moving anywhere. I don't see any change on the animation necessarily either. Cool skill overall. But let's see what this 3rd skill now looks like. This is weird. So there's no movement on this skill. I am deeply confused by this. The 1 skill that we do know that he has movement on, because this 5th skill right here is going to be what is called his teleportation shock, right? So a lot of hits on that one, it looks like. He goes in and out of iframes on this one as well. So a lot of skills, a lot of stuff happening on that one. So he's got shock damage, decreased lightning resistance. We see the frenzy buff as well, the super increase. Okay, so that was his 5 skill. That one's a V-pad movable skill, right? And I only skipped to that one for a reason, because you can see oh wow. Okay. So it's weird. It's like a stop and go. That's weird. It's like a stop and go. Like as he comes out of the movement, he then has the invincibility frames, and then you can change direction on it then. So his 3rd skill looks like it'll be a setup for his 5th skill, because that's the only way for you to get that accumulation. So you're probably gonna have to go 3. What does his 4th skill do? Ooh, that is very reminiscent of the movie. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Let's see what the stats are on this one. Yeah, so this one gives 60% penetration, 100% chance for immunity. So what we want to see is we get the 3 immediately. The accumulation is happening, but it doesn't. Did it cancel out of? It didn't look like it canceled. 3 into 4 into 5, and then we get the movement going here. And then we've got his 6th skill now. So we can see what that's going on there, right? And his 6th skill has a 30% increase. Like here we go, like the decreased mine resist. I'm like so confused on why we have decreased mine resist on his ability. But then we have lightning resistance decreased as well. And the increased rate. So what we basically want to look for is the rotation on here. 3, you not doing anything really. It's like right in the middle, doesn't last very long. What you're really looking for is what you're looking for is just to get that accumulation going. So if I had to imagine, it'd be 3 into 6 when that skill is up. or you'd be going, well, because there's not a lot of movement happening on there. It's hard to tell. We're gonna have to play him out. So weird characters, weird skill rotations. I think these are going to require a little bit of mental gymnastics to play as these characters. That's just my opinion, my feeling. So it's kind of weird about how you feel about these uniforms and whether or not you want to purchase them overall, because they are definitely significant bonuses. Like the Jamie Foxx one, just because of the uniform effect and the change skills in terms of his passive and his leadership ability, I believe these are worthy of purchasing. Like this one right here with his passive, where he gets the increased lightning damage and then he gets the increased basic damage. This is the weird one with this passive, because it's basically damage dealt to superhero factions by 30%, and then basic damage received from superhero faction is decreased. Now the really weird part about that, like I said, is I don't know where you're getting to fight superheroes outside of PvP, and from what I can tell, this doesn't really look like a character that I would want to use in PvP. So I'm a little confused about this one overall. Like the whole update is just a little weird. Like the uniforms look great on paper, the skills sound good, but I don't know, something about it just, yeah, something about it. I don't know what it is. Something about it. I can't put my, yeah, I can't quite put my teeth on it, but something about it just doesn't feel right. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see where it is, where it's going to pan out. This was the uniform I was most interested in, is the Electro uniform. We can see with his leadership that he has, where he gets the applies to all allies Sinister 6. He's getting the increase all basic attack by 60, 60, and 15. So he's going to be great if you're looking to play as a Sinister 6. I think the Sinister 6 is going to end up probably like the Marvel the Fantastic Four, where you're going to need the synergy between the characters essentially to get the most out of them, but ultimately they might feel very underwhelming on their own. It's kind of hard to say right now, because he looks like he's probably going to be a standout character for the pairing of all of them. Man, I'm gonna have to dig my teeth into these uniforms a little bit more, but right now, nothing really stands out to me. If I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you, 100%, nothing about these uniforms necessarily says to me, oh shit, you gotta have it. I'll play through with the characters. They're good to have, so that way I can push further levels of Shadowland, which I haven't done in a while. But nothing's really jumping out at me for these characters. If I'm being perfectly 100% honest, nothing is quite jumping out for me. It's just not like, it's just not hitting for some reason, especially this Goblin uniform. Like the Green Goblin uniform here, it's just so weird. Something's just not feeling right about this uniform at all with the skills. But content creation, man. In the name of content creation, I'm gonna level these characters up. I am, and I'm gonna bring you guys some information about them, and I plan on doing individual videos to let you guys know what I think. Don't forget also that Vulture, Mysterio, and Sandman as well, this dude is still in base form, my friends. Base form. Like this uniform is so damn old. Like, look at the first skill right here. Look at the second skill, third skill. I mean, his fourth skill has nothing on it. Like his fifth skill. So this is the reason why I say, like, so you don't guys all think that I'm never just saying shit against Marvel Future Fight, right? This says so much, because we essentially have a character without a uniform, but he's getting a awakening skill. This awakening skill is not going to help this character, be any more stronger than what he is now, to be honest with you. this is worthless. Vulture probably gets a little bit step up. This is his second uniform. He got this from Spider-Man Homecoming. I liked the uniform, but was the uniform like groundbreaking for me to be like, yeah, you know, like I had to have the uniform overall? Not really. You can get his, which you can see I even kind of slacked off on leveling this bastard up. So it's kind of weird because, yeah, I don't know, guys. Yeah, like Mysterio might be worth it for you. This is from Far From Home. His skill set was pretty decent. Like I could use him at stage 20 inside what you call it, but I don't necessarily think that awakening these characters necessarily has any benefit. And to be honest with you, this is an interesting mechanic for him that I think we as a community will have to play with. It's going to be a little bit weird, guys. It's going to be a little bit weird, to tell you the truth. So let's figure it out. We'll figure it out. We'll do some videos and we'll see what's going on. But I'm feeling very underwhelming about these uniforms. They feel like they were just like hastily thrown together. Some decent enough animations, but I don't know. Not quite exactly feeling them. All right, guys. Till next time. Peace.